Rightio, it's recording for you, so you don't need to worry about anything.
Okay.
And we will go to Virtualoon. So have you had a look at Virtualoon yet?
So I have. I don't want to. I don't want to move your screen, but I actually opened my account just now because I wanted to try to maybe follow along with you, but it's not going to allow me to do. My screen is small, so it's not going to allow me to look at what you're doing and follow along.
Okay, probably best if you can you turn your volume down a little bit on your computer? Will you still hear me okay? It's just a bit of a reverberation.
Gotcha. Hold on. Let me figure that out. Okay.
Down the bottom on the right hand side, there's a little speaker icon.
Yeah.
Yeah, click on that.
Is that better?
Hello?
Is that better?
No, I'm just checking. Yes, that's heaps better.
Okay.
Okay, fabulous. So what do you know about Virtualoon? What have you tried to do so far?
So I've tried the organic garland kind of thing. Like I made a little mock-up of that. That's pretty far as I've gotten on it. I haven't really done much with it because I wasn't really understanding, how to use it.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take you through the basics first, and if you've got any questions, just feel free to ask me, and I will show you what to do. I've been using Virtualoon now, well, since it started. I was one of the first people to sign up, and it was horrible. When I first signed up, I had no idea, like you, clicking things not staying open. It was terrible. Now I know what to do. It's easy. Is there something that you would like to make?
So I'm really interested in doing like a wall. So I think I'd mentioned I wanted to be able to take an image and plop it in there, and then it tells me how to separate it to build a wall with that image inside.
Okay.
So I guess the column wall tool.
All right, let's click on that. So when you go to build your walls and things, you go to use these tools. As you scroll your mouse over the top and you move it away, it goes away. How you keep those open, when you go up to open it, you click on that. Click on that, make it green, it will stay open. You've got your height and you've got how many columns you want to do. So if we're doing a column wall, usually you would use probably about 10 columns.
Okay.
And then you would create your color. If you do a white background, you would just click create, and hopefully it will work. What you've got there is the front and the back of the column wall.
Okay.
So whenever you've got columns, you will always have the front and the back. This is the front, this is the back. If you're just doing two single columns, the one on the left will be the front, and the one on the right will be the back. I find it a little bit hard to see that, so I'm going to put a color in there. And over here on the left-hand side, this is where all the balloons are. So when you click on here and you go into this, there's thousands of balloons in here, probably more than 9,000 now because Gamma's on there. Is there a particular brand that you use?
I use a little bit of everybody, but more so obviously Qualitex, Batalic, and for outdoor installations, I've been using a lot of Tough Tab.
Okay, so if you want to go to Qualitex, when you open the top up there, you can just then push your Q button and it will go straight to the Qualitex. If you wanted to use Batalic, you would push B. It would not go to Batalic. Have to go right to the start again. But with them, if I push G, goes to Gamma.
Then Jamar.
Yep.
Now, do they have Tough Text in here or no?
Not yet. The problem with it is that they need to get all the photos and things up, and that's a lot of photos to get. All right, so there's standard. So I'm just going to throw that in there and then create.
Okay, so you just pick a picture, you pick a color, you drag and drop it into the create circle there and it'll change the color.
Yes, my apologies. So to get the balloons to go over to here, yes, you left click with your mouse button and you drag it across and you drop it in and then you push create. If you just go like this, if you just click on a balloon, it will put it onto your screen. And this grey area is your work area. So if I click, say, a red balloon, see how it just drops it in?
Mm-hmm.
If you want it to go on the wall, you have to left click and drag it and put it where you want it to go.
Okay, individually.
Individually, yes. And to get rid of something that you don't want, you would just double click. I'm going to resize this so that you can see better, because if you've got a little tiny screen, and I will explain what I've just done then. I'm going to take it back and I'll resize, but just give me a moment. I'm going to change the background color.
Okay.
Because I'm a lifetime member, I can go into the beaded design side of it and you get to try stuff out.
Okay.
So we're going to do the column wall. So go up to column wall, click on the red to make it green, and then we will do our column wall. We might make it about 5 wide, and then we're going to make it a color. I'm going to click on the Q button, click in here, click on Q, and that will take me directly to Qualitex, and we'll put a color in. And
okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So where it says height and columns for the column wall, the columns box where you put 5, that means you're going to have 5 rows of columns?
5 sets of columns.
Okay.
So I drag across and then hit create. Right, and see here how it's got get cluster list for column. So it will break it down into the columns for you. Once we've designed a picture on here, then you can get the individual columns. It's really good.
Okay.
All right, so.
Oh, so it'll tell you each column what colors you need and how many for. Oh, that's perfect.
Yep. So then if you want a back picture in there so that you can see what you're doing, you would click on this. I'll get rid of that. And then you upload a picture. And the best pictures I've found to do this are perla beads. So if we go into Google and search perla, perla beads. And you can see there's pictures here. So say we wanted to do something like this heart.
Okay.
You click on the image. We might be able to do that. Save the image. Create a folder. So now that image is saved on my computer, and I can go back into Virtualoon and load the picture here. So I'll load it. Desktop. Best to go all files because then you can find everything.
Okay, you just passed it.
There it is. Oh, it didn't do it.
No, you just passed it. Go back and scroll all the way down.
Oh, I didn't save it in there. Thank you.
Right there, heart JPEG.
Yep. And there it is there. Right at the back there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to resize this screen because we don't need to see the back of that really for this in this instance. So I'm going to make the height of this screen 400, which is going to make it much easier for you to see. Right. So to change the height is here. This will change the width of the screen, so I can make this screen smaller. so that it fits nicer. So I could go down to probably about 250, maybe a little bit bigger. And this, because it's sort of over to the right, I can move it left and right using these horizontal, the horizontal button, the offset button. What these do is this moves this picture, the pink picture, up and down or sideways. If I leave it here as it is now and I hit add offset, it's going to move the whole thing across. If you do that and you've made a mistake, you just put a negative value back into these boxes,
and then it'll move it back.
Take it backwards. So that's pretty good. And you can just have nothing in here as well if you only want to move one. So if perhaps you want to move it up a little bit, you can do the vertical. So I'd put -1, a -10 and move it up and see. Anything that's outside of this grey area, when you take a photo of it, when you do a screenshot, it won't show. So make sure that it's within the area nicely. It's got to be within the grey area. So do that, move it across. So I'm going to move it across horizontally a little bit. Right, that's good. So our picture's on the screen there. That's our back picture. I want to make it bigger. So I'm going to go like this. I've never done it with this this before, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go, but we'll give it a try. And it's not going to work with this because you can't see it. And there's no way of bringing it to the front. We'll have to do it with a different tool, which is no biggie. So we go back. I'll ask them about that and see if they can fix that to make it so you can see it.
Okay.
Cross wall tool, we'll try that one. So the same again, you decide how big you want your wall. You bring in your back picture, so you hit that red lock, make it green to make it stay there, and then hit the picture and bring in the perla bead picture. These here make it so the picture's there, you just can't see it. You need to click this, and then we're going to make it really big. And to do that, you go like this, and you can move it across and up.
And center it, okay.
Yep, center it. You can make it a little bit smaller so it fits on the screen. And you can drop it down. This moves it a little tiny bit. This moves it a bit bigger. So I'll take it back here, and then I'm going to resize my screen. So my screen's going to be not that big, be 200. All right, and then you can add your balloons onto it. So we're going to do our X wall, and this shows you exactly which balloons are which. So if we're going to do a 10 across and 6, probably need to do a square. So we'll try 10 by 10, and then we'll do create. You need to put the colors in that you're going to use. So we go over to here and Qualitex. And it's going to be a little bit difficult because I've got to get this picture to the front. So give me a minute. I'll make that bigger. It seems a bit fiddly, but it does work.
Okay.
To get it set up, and once you've got it set up, it's easy. Right. This is not doing what it's supposed to do today. Great. I'm going to try something else. Give me a minute. Have you got any of these grids?
No.
Here we go. This is where you do it. Can you see the oh, there it is. It's been a while since I've played with this tool. This is one of the first things that they did, and it's really dodgy. In Australia, dodgy means not very good. It's good, but it's not as good as the newer things that they've done, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Is there anything else you want to see in Virtualine that's really good?
I mean, I would like to learn the website altogether, but I wanted to be able to do, which I thought we would be able to do, is like drag in the picture, not with the grids, but with the column walls. So if there was a picture that I saw, that I could put it in there and it would kind of associate the picture with the balloons.
Yes. Yeah, and I have done that before using, can't remember how, but I copied the, what was it, a minion. But this just is not doing what it's supposed to do today. But this is really quite good because you can grab the roller and you can get a balloon and you can go like this, make a heart like that.
Mm-hmm.
And colour it
Oh,
in.
okay.
But this is using your grids.
Right, not an actual column wall.
No. So if you're using it to do it, you could do it doing the column wall, but not this way. And it would be easy to do because, like just for instance, doing the heart column wall, I'm going to speak to Anya about this and tell her it's not loading properly and find out what they can do about that. So for your plus wall or your X wall, you could, if you had a picture, if you've got a picture for reference, for instance, so if we reduce that, take that over there, take that back there. So if we pull up that perla bead picture again, just trying to figure out how I can overlap because your screen's only little, isn't it?
No, I mean, I can see you well. What you're doing right now is fine.
Okay, so then if we do that same thing again, we do 10 there, and then you have a look here and you can see the colours. Then you decide which colours you want to put in. For a start, we'll just do the Qualitex again, and we'll just do all the pinks. So pink in there, and then we go to quick links. And then you'd put your pink ones there, and do create. The size of my wall is too small, so I'm going to have to change the size of the screen. And then I'm going to have to move it all across because I did that before. So add in the offset to move it across. Right, so there's your balloon wall. You can see that it's a bit out of whack, and that's because here I've used big balloons when you're doing, oh no, here. These ones, there should have been smaller balloons, should have been 5-inch. So if I go back to the Qualitex and change it, I can go to 5-inch and put them in there, and we'll see what happens then. See, it's got the 5-inch there now. Wrong one. I might put 5-inch on these to just see what happens. I'll change the colour. So it's a bit of a work in progress. Like when you're playing around with it, you can just left click on the balloon and drag it across, and now you can see it better. I'm going to make that bigger again. Add the offset to move it across. So if you've got a picture like the heart picture there and you wanted to do that, it wouldn't be too hard to do, because you would just follow, you would put the white ones down there, and that's just a drag and drop. So you left click and you drag and drop it. And as I say, once you've got your design made, it does take you a little while doing it like this, but once this design's made, you save it and it's always in your computer forever, and to change the colors is very easy. I'll just show you quickly. So if you did all your whites down there, they're coming up with new things to make it even better, where they're going to have like a little menu on the side, so all the balloons that you're using in this particular pattern will stay in here, so I don't have to keep going across here and loading them. Which hopefully that will come up soon. Do you know, I'm going to ask Anya if there's an easy way to do this, to change the colours, and see if they can come up with some sort of program to make it easier and faster for us. Because for me, even knowing what I'm doing, this is a little time consuming. So I want to make most of the things down here white. And to do that is going to mean me just sitting here and clicking and moving things.
Actually dropping it into each and every one.
Yes, but there is a good way of doing it. So I can go up here and I can get rid of that one, and I can get rid of that one, and I can get rid of that one. Then that means all I've got to do is just drag and click onto those, which makes it quite a lot easier. So if I bring these
I have a question. Can you just take the white and drop it into that little box where you put the other colors?
Yes, but it will,
and then turn it all white?
Yes, what it will do is it will change everything white, and up the top here, if you were trying to do this heart design,
then you'd have to change those colors.
Yes. Yep. So yes, you can. So I could go like that and go create. Let's see. So that's done those ones, which is great. And then we'd want to do these ones here. So drag and drop that across. Create. The good thing about that is that it's this is silly having to add the offset each time I create. Right. The good thing about having this particular part of the tool is that you can hide things. So if you want to do just a few different colors, you can. So if I get rid of all those, so if I hide all those, you know that those pink ones there still need to be done. And this is where it would come in handy doing the heart shape. So going up here, I look at my picture and I see that, for instance, I want to have the heart shape go in here, around that way. So that's where I'd change the colors, the 5-inch colors. Up here, 5-inch standards. So I know that I'd want to put purple or a different color here, like red, that sort of thing. So you can start to build the shape here. Blue up there. And you know that it's 2 across, as the Perla picture says. and then you go down. So it's a little bit fiddly, but it's not going to be hard to do. And then I would see the greens there, so then I'd take my green down here to get the heart shape starting to happen. And all these other ones I would keep white, because when it comes time to do the white, then the heart shape will actually take effect. So I could, in essence, change those now. And if you look, you can sort of see the heart shape starting to happen. I can see it happening anyway. Maybe I have a good imagination.
No, I see where you're going with it, and I see why the perler beads are easier, because it's almost like it tells you how many down and how many across to do in this type of wall.
Correct. And then once it's all done, this will give you the pattern to do it as well. It will tell you how many balloons you need. It tells you exactly what you need. It will give you a menu. That's what I'm trying to say. So
you know exactly what you need to order.
Exactly. Yes.
Create it.
So if you're in Qualitex Standard, you want to go to the next color. If I click on Standard there, and then I just run around to the bottom here. So I go around this way, so I don't have to go down here. It just makes it easier for me. Click on there, go down to the arrow, pull up some fashion colors, and then start putting some of those in. Going back up, and that's going to be my heart to there. And you can see that that's level, so that gives a nice, I possibly would go across a little bit to there. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do a different color here, maybe this dark color. And once I've done it, if it's too wide, I can then clean it up a little bit, just delete the ones that I don't want to use. And if you put a color that you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put that color there. So like I've got the three, I'm going to go down to here. I've got 2 colors. So if you make a mistake, all you need to do is just drag the colors across. So if I've put a purple here and it's wrong, I just left click on my green and drag it across.
And change it.
Make sure you left click, because if you just click, it doesn't work.
Okay.
So purple goes down a bit more. Left click and drag. Sorry, I'm a bit dopey. I've just woken up. It's 5.
That's okay. No, I really appreciate it. No need to apologize. Thank you for taking the time to do this with me.
That's okay. And now we'll do another color on the outside there. So possibly we'll do a light purple. And I'm trying to make sure I use the same pattern that I've used up here. There. Does that look the same? Yep, that looks pretty good.
Yes, it does.
Therefore, so you can see here, possibly here, I might do another green here, and then I would do a light green here, I think. Light green there. Right, and then you need to go back and put your white ones on there. So we'll go back to the 5-inch, and this is a little time consuming, but you'll see in a moment why it's worth doing it like this. Left click on it and drag. We've asked them about doing a roller system like on the other ones, but they said because there's so many different variants that you can use on this, it makes it difficult, because into this wall we can add foils, we can add organics. So if you're going to roller it, it just it's not going to work, because there's too many layers on it. That's what happens. People don't understand it's all about the layering. Right. Once you've made it like this, you can create color buttons. So if somebody comes to you and says, I would love a wall with a love heart on it, you can then go into it and just make a red and pink wall or a blue and gold wall. Whatever colour they want, you can do. Very, very easy. Much easier than this. I'm going to make this, cut it off here.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go all the way down, otherwise it's going to take up a lot of your time. But I'll do this. And you can imagine what it will be like. So I'm just, see what I've done here, that balloon there. I clicked on this balloon by accident. You can see it's an odd shape. You need to make sure you do like with like. You can't put a round balloon, a profile balloon on a round balloon shape, because this is showing the top of the balloon. So putting that other one on was showing the side of the balloon. Doesn't work. It will mess up your design. Just going to go down to here. So we've done that part, and then you've got to fill in the other colours, which won't take me too long. I really do want to show you the finished product. Are you okay with that? If you've got any questions.
No, yeah, I'm free. That's why I changed it to today. I knew tomorrow there was just too much going on, and I would have to, I wouldn't be focused. So.
How many children do you have?
I have two.
Oh,
2 girls.
How old are they?
15. Well, one's going to be 15 in she's going to be 16 in September, and the other one's going to be 17 the end of June.
Oh, scary age, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're so grown up.
Yeah, looking at colleges and stuff. I don't know what that is. It's been quite the adventure.
Yes. Yes, I've been there, done that. I do know.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 children. Right, so those little ones are done. So now we go up here and we're going to untick that, and we're going to tick that one. I'm going to leave that one there because we know now that we've got to put the same ones here. So here is going to be red. This will be white to get the shape. Around. I'm going to change that one for the moment. Take the yellow off, put the white in. Right, so you know now you can start to see that it's coming together. So we go to the quick links. I'm going to put a red one there and a red one there. I'm not sure about that one. So you can see how you could do.
I get the idea, yeah.
Letters, numbers. Right, so once you've got all of that done, I'm going to just throw oh no. I'm going to do a couple of these just so that we can get it right. So you can see that. You can see the shapes starting to become, which is great. Hooray. Right. So you just build it so that the shape's good, and you can see that you get the heart shape. There's one there that I didn't do, which was, that one's okay, that one's okay. This one, which is these ones in the middle. So you have to go back here. These ones here, usually I would size them up, but I'm going to use 5" just so that we can see them better. If you put big ones in there, it's a little bit hard to see on the screen. So this is just going to make it easier to see. Okay, so now we've got a heart shape happening. It's going to look great. All the colours are right. and you're going to save a picture of it to send to your client because they want to see this beautiful heart wall that you're going to build for them. And so what you do next is you go up to File and you save your design. That's number one thing you do. So you save your design as wall love heart and save it somewhere on your computer. And I would save this as a base plate. So I know that this is base plate 1. This is my very first design, base plate 1, wall heart, and okay. That's going to save it. You go up to your desktop, you create a new folder. And this is really important because otherwise you lose stuff. Virtualoon. And save it into Virtualoon. The next thing that you're going to do, because now you've saved it, is you're going to create color buttons. And why you do that is so that you can make your changes easy. So to make a color button, I'm going to hide some of these things to make it easier for myself. So you left click on the color that you want to make a color button. We're going to start with the white one. So we left click twice. Oh, it's not going to let me do it that way. Left click twice. It does not want to let me do it. All right, we won't do that. Save it as a PNG. That will save it as a picture for you.
That's what you would actually send to your client is
correct.
This picture.
Yes. Very, very big. Huge file.
Gotcha.
So then you just save that on your computer, save the image and save it as your heart wall. The other thing you can do, if you do that, if you change the size of your screen and you come back to Virtualoon, it's going to be very small. So take it back up to 100%. Then you can go there and you can create your list. And that's all the balloons that you need.
Mm-hmm.
What you'll see on there is on my wall, there's a little balloon there that I should get rid of. But that gives you the list of everything that you need.
Gotcha.
All right. Now I want to see why it's not letting me do color buttons, because the color buttons are fabulous. There. So I've clicked on that green one there. I go here, I go create color button, I click OK. When you do that, make sure that you remember which one you're doing. Because if I click yes on that now, I can't remember which one it was. So I try to start from one side, double click. So it's a left click with your mouse button until the red comes up. You double click on the red button and then you go here to create color button and click OK. And there it is right there, the color button. So you drag it off to the side. This is one of the most important things. I can't stress how important this is. This red button on here and this square means that I'm just going to change my back picture to black so you can see that better. There's a little red square on here. Can you see the red square and the red button? That means that that's the activated image and you're using that image. You have to disengage that. You have to get rid of that red button before you do anything else. Because if you don't, it creates a glitch in the program somehow. It creates a problem when you do your next color button. To do that, you can double click anywhere within that red square. So you can just double click and then that's your color button there. And then you go to the next one. Do you want to get that while I do the color buttons?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to do the red. I'm going to do all the quick links first. So left click on the red click link, left click twice, create color button, okay. This is one of the most exciting things of Virtualoon, I think.
So what's the purpose of doing this? You're moving it out here.
Yep, I'm creating a copy of it So all the white balloons here are copied, all the red balloons are copied. So every single balloon in this pattern I'm copying, and I'll show you why. I'm going to click OK. And as I say, it's really, really important that you disengage. And you can do it by double clicking on that button, or you can go up to File and Reset Design. Going to grab a green one, create color button. So if you're doing, I'm trying to think what I've done where I've changed the colors. I'll show you in a moment.
Oh, I think I get what's going to happen. So then you can just drag one color here, and then all the blues would change to a different color instead of having to I got it. Okay.
Exactly. So that means I could go here. Someone says, oh, I like that, but I'd like it all to be red. Well, that's easy. I can do that. You just drag it across and drop it on.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
It just makes life so much easier. You can change any colors, any way. You can change them back. And because you've got your original pattern, it doesn't matter. What I do, though, is once I've done this, like done my color buttons, then I will save it. So I'll go to File, Save Design as Heart Wall with color buttons. And that's once you've created all the color buttons on the wall. So you would need to go through and get every single balloon off there that's a different color. Comes in very handy when you're doing something like this. Just go back to the main menu. So the design tools where I do most of my designing, unless I want columns and things like that are these are for like your organics, your marquees, things like that. The column tool you'd use for columns, the arch tools are great because they're already in there and very easy to use. With your design tool, once you do your column or your arch, you can do it in your design tool. But design tool is for doing random things, I suppose. You've got the opportunity here to load your files and create, use old files or existing files. So I would go in and load a design. If I've got a client that wants, like this lady, I'm doing some bouquets for her. She wants lots of different ones. Seems to be that it doesn't remember the size that you have, so you need to go and resize quite often. That's something they're looking at as well, so I will resize that, make it skinnier because I don't need it so big, and that gives me a better design to look at. 150. So I try and get my height right so that when I'm giving it to clients, or when I'm telling clients how big it is, I've got a pretty fair idea now that what the size of it is. And when you're doing things like this, you can do your color buttons, but it's not necessary because it's very easy just to
switch it out.
Yeah, you can just switch out. And like I say, like for like. So you wouldn't switch this one out for a number because the number's a different shape, but you can switch it out for a foil. Your colors, like your latex balloons, you can just switch them out just by dropping it over and changing it. You could, if you wanted to, do color buttons, but I don't see the point in a design like this. In something that's a marquee, definitely make color buttons because it's just going to make your life a lot easier. Where's my Virtualine file? So base plates are Virtualine. So in here I've got marquees. Nope, wrong one. So like this one, it's probably better that you do have your buttons for this sort of a design because it makes it easier if you've got to change them out, especially when they're layered like this. So these white balloons are on top of these. It just does make it easier when you're building something like this to change the colours out. In saying that, you can just drag and drop them onto it. But if you've got the design and it's a repetitive design, it's much easier just to have a colour button and just change them all in one go.
Gotcha.
Oops. Nothing to undo. Doesn't matter because I've got this saved anyway. I'm trying to think what else there is that you would need to know. It's the main thing, I think, is knowing how to keep these open so that you can use them, how you can change the balloons out, and how many balloons are in here. There must be close on 12 or 15,000, or 12
Wow.
or 13,000. There's heaps.
So, I mean, I guess the main thing I really wanted was the column wall. So you're going to ask them about how to drop the picture into there?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I definitely will.
But other than, so if I actually wanted to build a column wall,
yes, going to do that now.
and like, I guess, draw out an image or something like that.
Yep. So if we did a column wall at a Qualitex conference, let's do 6 columns. Create. I'm going to make it 400 just so we can do the front. The closer you can get the grey area to your actual picture, the better, because it makes it larger for you to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got that, and then you're trying to figure out what picture you want, I'm just going to change my back picture to black. That doesn't really help me. I find that quite hard to see. So again, if you wanted to do a love heart, and you know that you want to do a love heart, so you would just be going in here and then clicking and putting them on. So left click and drag it across and on. And the good thing about this is it will break the column wall down for you.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've got your balloons on there, and you have to do the back as well as the front. So if we're doing a love heart, you can get your basic shape up quite easily. And again, it's just left click and drag, the same as everything else that we've been doing. Left click and drag it on. And the great thing about this column wall is it will break it apart for you. So, and I'm hoping that it will do the clusters as well so that we can see, and I'm pretty sure that it does. So if you've got staff or someone working with you that doesn't really do balloons very often,
Mm-hmm.
you can give them the pattern and they can go away and they can make it.
Right.
You have to make sure you trust them so they don't go and do it themselves.
Right.
I've seen a lot of that happening where people have had staff work for them and then they run away and start their own business and take your designs.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. So I'm just doing the left click and drag to get it across. And this is pretty good because it's not too time consuming. And once you do the front of it, then you've got to do the back as well. Otherwise, you'll have white showing through. Oops. And then we'll go start building up this side. And this is where it'd be really nice if it had the roll through thing.
Right.
The great thing about this program is it's using actual pictures of the balloons. It's not clip art. I don't like the clip art. I prefer this. And because there's so many balloons that you can use, you're getting the colours as well, which is great. They've spent a lot of time developing this. Done a great job. Is that looking pretty close to the shape?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how long have you had your balloon business for?
So officially incorporated 2 years, but I've been doing balloons since my girls were very young. I just was only doing it for like family and friends and wasn't really charging anybody.
Yeah.
And then I had my daughter does competitive cheerleading, and I had a competition ask me to do balloons and, price them, and they wanted to pay for them. And my husband was just like, why aren't you charging for this? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I was like, you're right. So, we just took the leap and jumped into, and it's in 2020. I mean, as bad as it was, pandemic wise, it's just been amazing for this industry.
It has been incredible.
Yeah, it really took off this year, and we're like super busy these, past couple of months, since it's gotten warmer here in New York. I'm in New York, so it's just been crazy busy. The phone has been ringing nonstop, and, I want to be able to give. I love the garlands and all of that. It's great, but I love the things that wow factor when you walk in. Like, I didn't even know you could do that with balloons. Like, I love that part of it,
Yes.
So I want to be able to do these big walls or sculptures or things like that people just wouldn't even think you could, do.
Yes. The impossible. You want to make the impossible happen.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. That's sort of all right. Oops. So once you've done that, then you would have to go down and do the back side. See how that's there?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that would just be a case of dropping these over to make sure that you get a nice
and just
colour.
Filling it all in,
Yeah,
right.
so you just fill it all in. And you can do that with any, if you don't drop the picture over it to copy it, it is pretty simple to do it. Because if you've got your picture on the right-hand side and you're looking at it, quite easily done. I think would be quite easily done. But once you've done this for your column wall, you know how to tie them all together, do you?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I've found some designs that like people put on like Pinterest and stuff like that. He actually is having a Spider-Man birthday. And I like to experiment on my family because it's done free of charge and they don't care what it looks like really. So it's like experimental for me. So before I offer something to a client, I want to do this Spider-Man balloon wall, which would be my first real balloon wall. Like the concept to me is fine. I know how to tie balloons. I know how to make columns. I learned all the basics. I didn't jump in just on, balloon garland. So like I've been building columns and arches forever. So the tying and the sizing and before there were balloon sizers and all of that, I've been dealing with it for many, many moons. So I just never built a wall. The concept makes perfect sense to me and I completely understand it. But since I've never actually done it, I would never offer it to a client without practicing first.
Yes,
I
understand.
So that's going to be my experimental Spider-Man wall.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
That I found on Pinterest. So
you'll have to show me the picture. In a minute, I'll get you to show me the picture.
Okay.
All right, so once you've done this, you've filled in the balloons where you think they should go, which I think I've just about done here. This one. So we've got the back and the front of the wall that looks pretty similar, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I should go there. No, definitely not. You can see how it changed there when I changed it at the front, the back changed.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so once you've done that, then you go to the column wall thing and you can get the cluster list for column 1, which is that one there. So you click on that. And it's having a look. We'll wait. And what it would normally do is it would come up with the pattern for that. And the pattern actually shows you it in the groups of 4. It's fantastic. I'm going to save that. Wait. All right, I'll send a message to them and tell them that that's not working very well. So what it would usually do is it would come up with, I'll show you what it will come up with. So if that was the wall that we'd just done, because I don't want to wait for it, because I'm lazy and impatient. So if I've got my cluster here, my wall here, and I've got my balloons like this, and the patterns on the wall, and it looks amazing, and we want to know how to do each column. When you hit get clusters, that's what it does. So this will be the very first one that you put at the top. Oh, you're not there. Hello.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. I thought you disappeared. I'm like, no, you're
No.
gone.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm here. My dog was just making a lot of noise, so I muted so you didn't hear him barking and going crazy.
See you, gorgeous. Yeah, I've had my tablets. Thanks, honey. Bye. Have a good day at work. Bye-bye. Thanks for the coffee. My husband's so good. He brings me coffee every morning before he goes to work.
Aw.
I'm the luckiest girl. Yeah, so that shows you the cluster, and it will give you that cluster for every single one that was in that wall. So when you go there, when I've done walls and things like this, I bag them up. So this would be wall, column 1, column 2, column 3, column floor. And then I'm pretty sure, let me just go back. I'll go out of that. Reset that design. See if it'll let me go back. Undo. So see how it's here? When I got that cluster wall, the very first one was the one at the bottom.
At the bottom, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's just, this tool is so fantastic, and people just don't realize how good it is. They just don't know. And because there is a learning curve with it, but the learning curve's quite high because there's such a lot that you can do with it. If it was this, just a very simple program, yes, it wouldn't be so hard to learn. But there is a lot in here that you can do. Heaps and heaps. The main thing is learning how to change your colors. Left click on the balloon, drag it across and drop. When you're doing your organics, you know that in Virtualoon all the balloons are sized to scale, don't you?
Yeah, so you could do, like, if you're doing an organic, you could pull a 16, a 24, a 36.
Absolutely.
And drop, yeah.
Absolutely. And the great thing with it is you can see that they are like that. So this is your 11-inch. This is your 5-inch. So you can actually see. So when you're doing it, you don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to be to scale. Is it going to look right? When you put in an airwalker, for example, where are airwalkers? Who makes airwalkers? Like something like this. If you're going to put something like this in, you know that it's going to be to scale. So when you're building something, you know that that's going to work and that's going to work because the sizing's already done for you. There's no sending out images to your clients that are not going to look like the balloons because you've put the wrong sizes in there.
Right.
Sometimes if you're doing, for instance, you might want to put the big ones, the great big ones here, the 3-foot, like a 3-foot hard in there. Well, you know that's going to work. If you do a picture and you do in PowerPoint or things like that, it's about sizing and making sure everything's to scale, where Virtualoon helps so that you don't have to do that because it's already done for you. The scale's done, which I love. And then again, when you go to get your shopping list, You go create list, and there it is. That's everything. So it makes it so much easier when you're pricing as well. So if you do a design, and then you want to work out your pricing before you send it to your client, you can, because you know that that's how many balloons you're going to need. You don't purchase too much anymore, which is what I used to do all the time. I'd be like, oh, I don't know how many balloons I need. I'll buy 6 bags when I really only needed 4. So have 4 bags sitting there. So it saves you money. Saves you money, saves you time. If you've got a design that everybody loves and people want to buy all the time, but they want to have it different colors, whatever, you know that it's going to be easy to do. Your flat arch tool is one of the best things ever, because flat arches, you can do beautiful designs. If you go into you see something that someone's made, an image, and you think, oh, that's really cool. I'd like to have a go of that. I wonder how they made it, or whatever. Something like this one. To make that one there, that's to get the clusters right, it can be quite difficult. But we've made it in Virtualoon already. So in the flat arch, if you go into here. Where is it? I've made a digital design thing and put my things in it, and I can't remember where I put everything. It's so bad. And I lost everything. I got a new computer and I lost everything. So for example, this one. And this is good because you know how big it is. So if you've made a design, you can see how big that is. So that's bigger than 5 meters across. And then to change it is so easy. But it's more than that. It's about knowing what your clusters are. So you can go up here and you can get your clusters. I'm not sure if that's, So there you go. That's your pattern. Can't be much easier.
And so the top one always starts with the bottom, right? So that's your very first one that you put on.
Then this one, then this one, then this one. Which makes it so much easier because I know, like for me, flat arches, knowing where to put things in, so good. Especially the rainbow flat arch. Because there's a certain way you've got to lay them to get it looking like that. And this will tell you exactly how to do it. So it saves you time when you go to do a setup as well. If you've only got a 30-minute setup, you can do it because everything's bagged.
Right, and you have. I'm a pre-inflator. I don't know how people go to jobs and inflate on jobs. I don't think I would ever get a job done if I actually inflated on a job. So I do like the idea of knowing exactly what I have to inflate and having the exact number of what you need. It's funny, like I'm looking at this, I've made a flat arch before, but I was actually looking at the picture and trying to count each balloon to see trying to figure out what's in each cluster and how many balloons I need and stuff like that. So this definitely is a great tool.
So I can go to my file now and I can create my list, and that tells me exactly what I need.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you're not sure of colors as well, the other great thing is I can go here, I can highlight that, and I can right click and I can search, and that will come up and it will tell me what it is.
Wow.
So that will tell me this number balloon is a chrome silver latex balloon. How cool is that?
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
That is cool. So that means when you're within Virtualoon, if you're pulling up a color and you're not exactly sure, because our computer screens don't all show the same color and they don't all show exactly the right color. I'm going to make my back picture white. So I might pull up a color like in Qualitex. I love Qualitex fashion balloons. I think they're beautiful. But you don't know what color that is, and you don't know what color that is, and you don't know what color that is. Unless you're really clever. But what you can do then is you can do your create your list. and there it is there. You highlight it and go like that and search. Oh yeah, hang on. Great many matches. If we take that out. Tropical teal. So I know straight away, oh yeah, that's the one I want because the ladies asked for that, or whatever it is. I know that that's tropical teal.
Gotcha.
So it does make it much easier. There's so much you can do with this. My very first mock-up that I did, because I wasn't sending out mock-ups, it made me lots of money. So the people asked for, I'll show you what it was. They asked for, what did they ask for? They asked me for an arch, and I sent them a mock-up, and I'll see if I can find it. So I sent them a mock-up, and I spoke to her, and I said, I'll send you a mock-up. I think you need more than an arch. And I sent her a mock-up of an arch and 6 columns. And here it is here. That's it. So that's what I sent her. It wasn't very good. In fact, I thought it was, looking back now, it's not a very good one. But I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never done anything digital before. Never ever. And that's what she booked. So I went from just delivering an arch to delivering everything else. And it made me a lot of money. Have you gone?
I'm sorry, I'm here. I obviously have to go in just to play a little bit more.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, I think, have I cut you off? Yeah, I do. I think it is about just going in and playing with it, because if you play with it, you'll see the opportunities are endless. You can do so much with it. It makes you money. It really does.
Yeah, I definitely, not a lot of people ask for mock-ups. They literally look at, Pinterest or whatever, and they're like, I want this, and they send a picture. So, I mean, that's always good, but like I said, I'm looking to make some more extravagant things, more than just a garland and stuff like that. So I definitely want to be able to offer, upsell and say, well, then we can do this and that, and and add a picture to it and show them. So yeah, this is definitely helpful. I definitely want to hear back about dropping in the picture to the column wall. But this was great information. I'm glad you taped. I tried to take as many notes as I could while you were going. But yeah, it's exciting. Like I said, I have it because I knew as soon as I saw it, I'm like, this is a tool that I know is going to save me time. It's going to save me money. Like it's why we should be using this.
It's also a great marketing tool, because if you start making mock-ups and putting them onto your website, onto Facebook, onto Instagram, you're not actually having to create something to sell it, because that's where we spend a lot of money. Oh, I want to make something ocean themed. I'll make a mermaid theme. You make it with the balloons. What do you do with it after that? You've got to give it away or try and sell it. If you make it in Virtualoon and you put it onto the internet, people will go, yes, I love it. And so it saves you money that way as well. If you want to do your menus, anything like that is good. Just the opportunities are endless. It's fabulous.
I love it. I certainly appreciate you. I know it's early where you are, so thank you so much for jumping on with me.
I'm sorry it took so long. I've just trying to get this video
it's fine.
edited.
Everybody's busy. I understand. I totally understand. Like I said, I appreciate it. You didn't have to do it. So I appreciate, it doesn't matter how long it took. I'm very appreciative of you helping me.
All right, then I'll send.
And I will share with you when I actually do some mock-ups and stuff. I'll show you.
Excellent.
And then I hope to hear back from you about the picture dropping.
Yes, I'll contact Anya and let her know. I'll send this video to you, and I will still send you the other one the basic one. I've got one.
Okay.
I've got one that I did before. I might just send that to you as well, and that way it's just the basics of Virtualoom. It's not it's not the new upgraded version.
It's the older version.
One, when I was not.
Well, you know what I feel like once I start tinkering around in there, it'll, because a lot of it was repetitive with, dropping down and locking and resizing and stuff like that and pulling in the balloons. So
we didn't actually, I didn't show you how to resize. So just watch this quickly. So with these balloons, you can size them. You can size them down. You can't size them.
I can't see your screen though.
Oh, sorry. I've got to share my screen, don't I? Right. So with these balloons, these are 11 inch. So you can size them down, all the way down, but you can't size them any larger than an 11 inch because that, you just
that makes sense because you can't go any bigger than 11, right?
You can do that with any latex balloon. You can size it, even your stuffing balloons. Oh, not those ones, sorry. So even like the 30 inches, you can resize these as well. Any of them you can resize. People say, oh, what about, I want to resize a foil. Well, you can't resize a foil in real life. So you just can't resize a foil.
Gotcha.
You just can't. And because these are all to scale, it stands to reason you can't resize that. You can move them around like this. So you can change the way they're sitting. But you can't resize foils. So
well, that makes absolute sense.
Thank you, because some people are like, I want to change the size of it. Why do you want to change the size of the foil? Why? You want people to see that the foil is in relation to what you're doing. Oh, the other thing with it too is it's great if you've got your mock-up and you can put it onto a background, which is very easily done. So once you do your mock-up, do you have some way of doing that?
Of changing the background?
Yep, of putting your picture in, because that's sort of a little bit too where.
Oh, you mean like if I have a venue?
Yep.
Like if somebody sends me a picture of a venue, can I place the balloons like in a picture?
Yep. So you can put, if you want to do that, you can put a back picture in here, so that you can do it. You can't actually save the back picture, I don't think. So I'll just quickly show you this because this is something that you probably want to do. I'll just take a couple of minutes to show you, and then, because I know you've probably got things to do. So I'll load my design. I really have to find my balloons. So if I've got this, for instance, 500 by 500. So I've got this balloon arch thing and I want to put a picture in the background. I can load a back picture so I can see what it looks like. And you can go, if you want to, you can go to something called Upsplash, which has got some fabulous pictures. So you've got a client that has got a beautiful house. They might send you the picture, or you can just grab a picture of a house from here. And you download it, and you can upload that to your computer. So then you go in here and upload it, and then you can put the unicorn onto it. Where's the picture of the house there? So there's the picture of the house, and this makes it so that if you wanted to build an arch or some sort of something on this house, you put the picture in, and then you can build your garland or whatever on the house within Virtualoom. That's the best part of using the back picture. So your client sends you the picture of their house and you go, okay, I'm going to build a garland on it, and the picture's there of their house. Hang on, upload that picture again. And that's probably where I find it works really well for me. So you've got your house. You would need to save the picture somewhere on your computer, because I'm not sure, I can't remember if it saves it. Oops. So there's my picture, and then you can go in and you can start building. So you go, especially if you're doing garlands and things like that. So you start building your stuff. You know, you can. So you would do your organic, whatever you want to do, going up here and around and over, and then you could save it. I'm going to see if it will import it as a PNG. Let's save it as a PNG. See if it brings up the picture as well. Doesn't bring up the picture. That's why you would need to either you could screenshot it, or you can save the picture and then you'll save the balloons, and then you combine the two together in a program like Canva or Publisher.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have Canva also, so I
love
gotcha.
Canva. Canva's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's great. It's great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If you need any help with anything else, just drop me a line and I'll help you. I'll send this file to you, and I'll probably save it on YouTube or somewhere like that, so it's a link and it doesn't clog up your computer or my computer. And I'll also send you the basics of Virtualoon, the old one.
Perfect.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much. You too.
You're welcome. See ya.
Bye-bye.